I need police now. And I think my husband is injured.
A man gets shot through his own front door. The shooter standing right outside, caught on camera, barefoot, gun in hand. Then calls 911, pretending to be his wife. So what really happened in that hallway? When San Antonio police responded to a welfare check at a luxury apartment, it didn't seem urgent until they saw the door. A single bullet hole right near the peephole. That's where someone would stand to look outside. Inside, they found 34-year-old Martell Derouen. One gunshot wound to the head, no movement, no chance to survive. And just like that, the call turned into a homicide. But the apartment told a bigger story. Furniture broken, glass on the floor, things out of place everywhere. Something had already happened before that shot. Martell wasn't known for chaos. He spent 6 years in the Air Force, working in intelligence, focused, disciplined. After that, he turned to music. Under the name Cardone, he built his way into San Antonio's scene, working toward something real. By 2020, he had momentum. A deal tied to a major distribution platform. Things were moving. In his personal life, he had separated from his wife, Joya, but there was no drama there. They stayed respectful, stayed in contact. Then came someone new, Sasha. Sasha was 21, creative, ambitious, trying to make a name for herself, but her past wasn't clean. A year earlier, she had been involved in a situation that ended in gunfire. Her boyfriend at the time was killed. Investigators found messages connecting her to how that meeting was set up. She was charged, then released on bond. Then came another incident, a propane explosion that left her injured. By the time she came back around, she was trying to rebuild. That's when her connection with Martell changed. They had met before through music. Later, it turned into a relationship. He was older, steady. She was younger, still unpredictable. By early 2021, she was spending time at his apartment regularly. And then the arguments started, loud enough for neighbors to hear, things breaking, voices raised. One neighbor even recorded the noise because it was that intense, until everything reached a point that couldn't be ignored. Inside the apartment, the signs were clear. Broken dishes, damaged furniture. In the bedroom, it was worse. Bed frame torn apart, sheets pulled off, and small details left behind. An acrylic nail, a dog tag, evidence that things got physical. At some point, Sasha leaves, barefoot. She takes her phone, and she takes Martell's gun, but she comes back, and that return is what changes everything. The hallway camera captures it. Sasha pacing back and forth, barefoot, green dress, gun in one hand, phone in the other. She knocks, steps away, comes back again, like she's deciding something in real time. Then it happens. One shot, fired from outside, through the door. The bullet goes straight through and hits Martell on the other side, right near the peephole, right where he would have been standing. He drops instantly, and just like that, it's over. But instead of calling for help as herself, a different call comes in.
My name is Joya Derouen. I'm trying to get in my apartment, but I'm not able to get in, and I think my husband is injured.
And when police arrive, one detail changes everything. The door is still locked from the inside, meaning whoever fired that shot was outside, and they left. Inside, investigators start putting it together. The damage shows a struggle. The gun is missing. And then they find items that don't belong to Martell. A purse, shoes, an iPad, cards with Sasha's name. Now it's clear, she was there. The hallway footage confirms it. Same clothes, same moment. Now the timeline starts to form. Argument, damage, exit, return, gun, shot, call, disappearance. Everything lines up. But one question still hangs over it all. Was that shot intentional? Or was it a reckless moment that turned permanent? Because that answer changes everything. And sooner or later, Sasha would have to explain it.
10, police on the hunt to catch an accused killer. Tonight, this woman is wanted for the murder of a man found dead inside his upscale La Cantera apartment. Tonight, KENS 5 is learning the 21-year-old suspect is connected to a deadly drug deal in Austin from 2019.
Eyewitness News reporter Henry Ramos shares brand new insight about the wanted suspect.
This is 21-year-old Sasha Scare. San Antonio police say she is wanted for the murder of 34-year-old Martell Derouen. On Tuesday, police found him dead with a gunshot wound at these apartments off La Cantera Parkway, as someone called police to check on the victim after not hearing from him in days.
We're looking for Sasha Scare. She is currently wanted for aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon.
Scare seems to be no stranger to the law. Back in November 2019, she was wanted by Austin police for her alleged role in a drug deal that resulted in Austin's 33rd homicide that year. One person died in that shooting and another person was hurt. Austin police put out this flyer asking for the public's help to find her. Shortly after, Scare was arrested in our area. KENS 5 confirmed late Wednesday the 21-year-old's connection to that aggravated robbery out of Austin through Bexar County records. According to online records, Scare has been out on bond since January of 2020.
Henry joins us live from San Antonio Police Headquarters. Henry, in this murder at La Cantera Apartments, how did police say the victim and suspect knew each other?
Well, to be frank with you, Aaron, police aren't revealing many details about this case at this hour. We don't know how the suspect and the victim know each other. We don't even know what links Scare to this murder. We do know that when police arrived to that apartment, they actually had to have a maintenance man let them in, and that is when they made that disturbing discovery. In the meantime, if you know the whereabouts of Scare, you're asked to contact police immediately. We're live downtown tonight. Henry Ramos, KENS 5, Eyewitness News.
New at 5, a man found dead, apparently gunned down in his La Cantera apartment, is being remembered by those who knew him as a music artist who stood out from all the rest.
And as Devin Clark reports, he was considered one of a kind, not only for his lyrical talents, but also his unusually humble personality.
Brian Mitchell thinks back to brighter days, recording in his studio with his friend, 34-year-old Martell Derouen, known to many by his rap name, Cordon.
He was just real subtle dude, man. Quiet.
While considered talented, unlike many other up-and-coming rappers, Derouen was also known for being humble. Mitchell says even though Derouen was Beyonce's cousin, he never used her name to benefit him.
That's not even something he would even mention to people. We just have to put it in his bios because it's worthy to put in there, but he doesn't like stuff like that.
On Tuesday, Derouen was found shot to death at his apartment and the Towers complex in La Cantera.
I couldn't believe it. I thought they had the wrong person.
Now, the search is on for Sasha Scare, who San Antonio police believe shot Derouen. There is an active murder warrant out for her arrest, and on an Instagram page, which appears to be operated by the 21-year-old, you can see people telling her to turn herself in. While investigators are convinced Derouen was a victim of homicide, the question still being asked by so many tonight is why.
It's like hurting a butterfly.
And earlier I did speak to Derouen's wife via text message. She was too shaken up to go on camera, but she echoed Mitchell's sentiments, saying that her husband, quote, didn't deserve this. Of course, the investigation is ongoing, and San Antonio police want anyone with any information on this crime to give them a call at 207-7635. Reporting from La Cantera, Devin Clark, KSAT 12 News.
By the time Sasha is arrested, the case is already built around one question. What was she thinking when that gun went off? Because the evidence doesn't leave much room to argue about what happened. In court, the prosecution keeps it simple. They walk the jury through the apartment, broken furniture, scattered items, clear signs of a struggle. Then they show the hallway footage. Then comes the 911 call, the voice claiming to be Joya. And that's where things shift, because Joya takes the stand and says she recognizes the voice. She says it sounds like Sasha. Now the focus turns to intent. The prosecution argues that call wasn't about getting help. It was about creating confusion. Then they bring in the bullet trajectory, where it entered the door, where it struck. They explain that the shot lines up with someone standing behind the peephole, but the defense tells a different story. And they wait before telling it. When they finally do, they call one main witness, Sasha.
Tell this jury, what was your intent when that gun fired?
I guess my intent was just to get his attention.
Sasha Scar on the stand in her murder trial, describing to the jury what happened the night of January 22nd, 2021, the night San Antonio rapper Martell Derouen was killed. She told the jury the two got into an argument after Derouen believed she was talking to another man. When Derouen asked her to leave, she says then the fight got physical.
He had tackled me onto the bed, and for what felt like a long time, he was hitting me, choking me, until up to the point where I couldn't breathe.
She says she then grabbed his gun and eventually made it out of his apartment. After a while, she went back to the apartment and started banging on his door with the gun, and that's when the gun went off.
As I was knocking on the door, I just threw the gun up and just shot him.
Scar says she had no idea that Derouen was standing on the other side of the door when the gun went off. In cross-examination, the state questioned Scar about how she claimed she jumped over a counter to escape, but dishes on the counter looked untouched.
No room at the end of the counter. It seems physically impossible for you to leap over it. From this angle, you would agree with that, correct?
It might seem like it.
Now, the jury will soon get this case and begin deliberations. Closing is expected to take place tomorrow morning. If found guilty, Scar is facing up to life in prison. At the Kathina Reeves Justice Center, Erica Fernandez, KSAT 12 News.
The jury is left with two versions. One says this was an accident. The other says it was a choice. They deliberate for about 2 hours, then they come back with a verdict, guilty. For Martell's family, it brings some level of closure, but it doesn't undo anything. During sentencing, Sasha is given 55 years. She won't be eligible for parole for decades. And just like that, the case reaches its legal end. But the impact doesn't stop there, because everything came down to one moment, one decision. At a door. Thanks for watching Crime in Cold Light, and I'll see you in the next one.